we're just gonna get right down to it, buds. This will be the second attempt to pull a vehiculo onto the scissor lift without it sliding. First attempt was with my Tesler, and it basically just pushed the lift forward on the floor and I was unable to roll over it. This second attempt is going to be with the Kia Seltos outside. You can see I have added some 1/2-inch thick solid rubber mats underneath the lift bases for extra gripability. I also have added 3/4 thick rubber mat to help with the wheel transition from the ground to the ramp to the lift. So ideally, with this extra added grip, I'll be able to pull on cars without it slipping, and I'll be able to move this mobile lift without having to bolt it down. Let's get the Pocket 3 rolling. Face track. All right. Red Bull, she's empty. Got the Honda emblem globe right there. We're gonna give her a 360 whirl. All right, let's do this. Mic check, mic check. Garage, open. Let's get to it. Don't fail me now, buddy boy. Jeremiah, start you on up. Woo, a little spicy in here. Pretty good feeling about this since this car is not 4 inches off the ground. Let's line her up real close to that wall there. And we're just gonna go. Watch your head. Oh yeah. Oh, that ain't nothing but a thing, bud. She ain't nothing but a thing. Ho 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 ho. Oh yeah, that is much more like it, bud. So I got some rubber blockies. And as you can see, the wheels don't actually rest on the scissor lift, so the lift rises straight up onto the body. 47-inch rise. This is a K-Tool X90E. And you got these blocks, and you got your pinch weld right here. The block right here. That's perfect. That's exactly what we want. If I have a car with a wider wheelbase and the lift points are further apart, I can actually lock these ramps up in this stance and put the block on the ramp. Seems sketchy. It might be, but we'll figure out how sketchy that is when we get there. Much wow. Big improvement from just sliding it with my Tesla. This should work out quite well. I did order some grip tape to put on the ramps, but the Amazon driver decided to throw my package on a random street and take a very dark picture with a flashlight pointing at it and said that they delivered it. But after searching around my neighborhood, I have came to the conclusion that they did not deliver it. Still have not hooked up the electrical, so unfortunately I cannot lift it up and show you guys, but we got this bad boy. This is a radiant heater. I'm gonna open up this boxy right after this video. That's looking real nice. Got my pry bars hooked to this bad boy. Liking that. Organize the shop a wee bit. Honda emblem globe sitting pretty up there. Give that a little jingle jangle, shall we? Oh yeah, that's nice. Larger cars, I'm obviously gonna have to maybe move my toolbox to the side to have a little bit more room up front, but depending on what I'm doing, if I'm doing brakes on a larger car, I won't really need to be up front too much. Obviously I can pull out my Tesla or whatever car's parked in this bay, so I have a bunch of room, but yeah, all the room in the world. We got a bunch of shit, okay? I'm trying to get all my shit in one place, get all my shit, put it together, and then we're gonna deal with it one thing at a time. The Beagle compressor is in place. No, I have not plugged it in yet, but it is 120 volt, and we got a 120 volt outlet right there, so maybe the next video, after the next video, we're gonna plug this bad boy in and see how quiet she is. I can hook up an air line as well. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. I do have to modify the wheels. These are the wheels that slip onto the scissor lift. As some of y'all saw in my rotation video, I just used those two jacks and that's because it was still on the pallet. To get these on to the scissor lift, you raise up the lift a little bit, which pivots the cross beams until these can slide over the cross beams, and then there's a little welded piece on it that you slide over here. And then when you lower the lift back down, it forces up onto these wheelie boys. And then you can give her a nice little pulley poo with this dingus, okay? So, since it was not wired up and still in a pallet, it was just a wee bit difficult to get these wheels on, but nevertheless, we got it rotated, didn't we? We did. So, since I have 1/2-inch mats under the lift now, it sits 1/2 inch higher, and I need to adapt. We're gonna be putting some spacers. I got some longer bolts, bunch of washers, some new bolts, and yeah, we're gonna be figuring that out. Okay. We're working on it, okay? We're working on the whole new setup, the shop, the mental things, the physical lack of body weight. I will be recording a dedicated video on the Osmo Pocket 3 just after the unboxing of the radiant heater. The Osmo Pocket 3 is a handheld face tracking type dealie, little double press, and we're face tracking. And I'll tell you what, she's pretty good. I've only been able to juke it by doing a little tuck and roll, so I'm pretty impressed. You can change the speed of the gimbal. You can have the gimbal work in different ways. You can also live stream directly through this, which I've done a few times, and it is so much better than me recording through my phone, or live streaming rather, through my phone. We also got a King Bobo scan tool that I will be talking about in just a second. We're gonna connect it to the Kia Seltoast and talk about its functions for a wee bit, okay? We're also gonna linkify that in the video description of said video, so.